Welcome back to the show, everybody. Welcome back to the Upper Tier Podcast. It's Monday morning. Another little reaction video, drive time. It passes my drive into work, passes the time and stuff like that. Love talking to you guys on a Monday. Big thank you to everyone for all the watches and the views and everything and all over the weekend. Hope you enjoyed the Backlash watch along. We had a lot of fun on that watch along. For a pay-per-view or a PLE that felt really short. It was great having you guys on board, and we had the crack in the chat and all. Also with all the other content on the short, really appreciate it. Subscribers are growing. Get the watch time up now. We'll be doing really good. But yeah, I wanted not so much a reaction to Liverpool and Chelsea at the weekend, but more kind of like a couple of things that really need to be spoke about and really need to be highlighted. Of course, the game was just dire, you know what I mean, and it was just, at Anfield, the onus was on us. Top 3, top 4 was up for grabs, and again we fall short again. Take the lead, let Chelsea back into it. And remember, this is a Chelsea side at the moment that's an absolute mess. I think they had lost either 5 or 6 on the bounce or something like that. And of course, as always, rock up to Anfield, and if you need a point or 2 or 3, Anfield is the place to be coming at this time of the season, isn't it? But really poor. But a couple of significant things. One of the big things when I go over to the matches, and it's a big thing, Dino will even tell you this when he's in the chat or in the comments, is we love welcoming the bus. We love welcoming the players to the ground. It's such a big thing. And I seen the footage of it, and it was like terrible. These fans have checked out this season big time. So Dom and the boys, they are right in terms of the fans. They have really checked out. Is it just on the manager? Is it symptomatic of FSG, Edwards and Hughes? Is it also at the players? But to see such a low turnout to welcome the bus in surely must have sent a message, because it's a significant part of your match day experience is to welcome the bus into the ground. So I thought that was a huge thing, and it kind of might have set the narrative then for the day, So then we get into the match, and it's just like, what do we say? This is rinse and repeat. We've seen it time and time again, and it's just poor. We're just seeing out this season, trying to kind of protect our position where we are. I have to say, and I've said it time and time again, if there was teams out there, if Chelsea were playing at their height of what they should do, if Spurs hadn't had this massive drop off, if Newcastle were playing to the level that they can, we'd be in real trouble, because we have no right, the way we have played this season, we have no right to be in that top 5. We have been terrible, really terrible, real dire, horrible football, just so laboured and disjointed. We've spoke about it on every match reaction, and we've highlighted it on every preview, that every time we've had a chance, that chance to go and do something and lay down a marker and create that gap and make life a little bit easier for ourselves, even in game, when we've scored an early goal, push on, get a second one, get a third one, make it comfortable. We just can't do it. The mentality isn't there to do it. So another kind of rough day at the office against a team that a lot of teams recently have been banging up, really, you know what I mean, and to come to Anfield, and we just haven't got it in us. We just haven't got that desire, that heart, that push. Now, is that they've checked out on the manager? Maybe. I don't know. Is it a case where we have to look at this and go, well, surely the God 11 players can't have dropped off this bad? Well, they can, and more. The boos on the ground also were significant as well, and there is a lot of deflecting going on at the moment, and we've seen this earlier in the season, but especially when you listen to the press conferences from Arne Slot as well, he's kind of going, and like, when we perform like that, they should be booing. And like, you can see there's a lot of shade and animosity there, from the joys of last season of like coasting to the league, and the celebrations and the joy and all the happy interviews, and the bond that was there. The manager was singing off the same hymn sheet, the players were singing off the same hymn sheet, and that's all gone to shit. That whole relationship there doesn't look like it's there. Now, I know a number of club reporters and stuff like that have said that inside the club is not as toxic as what the fans are viewing it from outside the club. But the reality is, if that's the case, then we're in even bigger trouble, because what's coming out on the pitch is just beyond bewildering. And it was significant as well. And listen, as a fan base, we don't tend to bill managers, we don't tend to go in on them that hard, and we don't tend to do those type of things. But this is quite toxic now. This has been a massive drop off this season compared to being champions last season. It's probably one of the worst defences of a title in terms of the spend and the investment, and we know that was imbalanced. It wasn't quite what we thought it was going to be. In terms of, I think most people were going into this season pretty positive about what we might be able to do, and there was talk of winning multiple trophies, and that all pattered out and stuff like that. And we knew if change didn't happen a number of months ago, really kind of to give us a chance at really doing anything, we really needed to make change. Probably just maybe at the November, maybe Christmas, maybe. And again, you have to have a certain amount of decorum and respect for the manager. He did win a Premier League title with us last season, and you would hope that things turn around them, but it looks like relationships have soured. We've heard Salah in the past, if I speak there will be fire. Well, there's been fire this season, that's for sure. And it's trickled out onto the pitch, and it's been a massive drop off in the players. And that game the other day was just the absolute epitome of it, really. And it's a tough one as well. I think I just don't see a way where this manager's position is tenable in the current environment, stuff like that. Now, we see there's little moves going on at the moment. Kind of players are moving out. Obviously, Robbo's gone, Salah's gone. We have to give them a good send off as well. But also now we're hearing, and there's been whispers of this. There's been reports on this earlier in the season. Alisson linked with a move to Juventus. And I just look at that and I think about that, and I'm looking and I'm going, have they made a decision and let Ali know that he's going to be number 2 next season? He is picking up a number of injuries. He is taking longer to come back from those injuries. And are they now going to push the button on Mamardashvili? Is he going to be the number 1? And what really sickens me as well is on this journey through the Klopp era and stuff like that, we always knew that, we always felt that Queeveen would be the gatekeeper for the number 1 position. Anytime he's come in, he's been absolutely phenomenal. And if you look at the job he's done at Brentford, here's Brentford under Keith Andrews in his first season as a senior coach there. What a phenomenal job he's done. I said it before, it's not spoken about enough. They need to go and they need to do like an Amazon documentary on that Brentford season, because it's been absolutely phenomenal. I can't tell you how much I've been so impressed. And I was wrong, because I seen Brentford appointing Keith Andrews, losing Thomas Frank, and losing some key players as well out of that squad. I thought that squad would be in a huge transition this year, and I thought that squad would really be battling in a relegation battle. And how I've been proven wrong, and so happy to have been proven wrong as well. They've been absolutely phenomenal. And I just think it's kind of symptomatic of how we look at things. I think Brentford have been brilliant, and for them to be challenging for a Champions League spot, and certainly a European spot, is outstanding. How I would love Villa to come 5th, win the Europa, and Brentford to be 6th and get that Champions League spot. Imagine what Champions League football could do to a club like Brentford, and how we love it. We love those kind of situations. But back to Queeveen as well. It's real sickening that he didn't just go that one, that we brought in Mamardashvili and Queeveen didn't just go that one more season. Because I really do believe that was a mistake that we made to sort out that and figure that out. Queeveen Kelleher, without a doubt, should be Liverpool's number 1 goalkeeper going into next season. Mamardashvili has come in this season. He's done well. He's come in with a decent rep as well. but he's come in and he's been okay. He's done well at times, you know. But I just think when you look at Caoimhín, that the role that Caoimhín has played at Brentford this year, he's a huge reason why Brentford are where they are. And it's terrible that like you spend that amount of years. Now he had loads of success and picked up plenty of medals and honours and all, but to spend all those years, you know, waiting to step into that number one role, stepped in many times when Alisson was injured and did a phenomenal job for us. And I just think it just kind of sickens me a little bit that then he leaves, and then the next year we're hearing that Alisson might be moving on to Juventus, and that would have opened up the door for Caoimhín. But I mean, obviously he was put in a very difficult position when they had signed Marmadashvili. Why they felt the need to go out there and do that, I'm not too sure. It's not like Caoimhín was doing a bad job. He was excellent. I mean, at one stage people were nearly saying that we nearly had the number one and the number, we had the best backup in the league, that's for sure, and we had the best keeper in the league for a number of years. So we were in a very, very strong position there at the back. But time obviously waits for no man, and you can see, like, you know, the drop off in Salah this season. You know, you can see the drop off in Ali as well, not necessarily in the goalkeeper, but in picking up more and more injuries and not being able to recover for them in a timely manner. You know, the slightest of injuries, you know, and he kind of loses a month or 6 weeks or whatever it is, you know. And that's a telltale sign that it's you know, change is needed and things need to move on, you know. But I really can't, I know you guys are probably feeling the same, I can't wait for this season to end. But the situation we find ourselves in now is that there's a huge amount of toxicity now in relation to the manager. Are they going to have to make change? Are they going to have to move for Xavi Alonso if that's what they want to do? Or are they looking somewhere else? Have they already got a plan? The way the manager's talking as well, you seen last week before the game, it's not great when you're going in on your players like Mo and stuff like that. And I know it's kind of like there's been a battle there, and I'm sure Slot's been battling both on and off the pitch, and also with what's above him and stuff like that as well. So that probably hasn't been easy either. I don't think anyone could have thought this season would run out the way it was. We obviously had no idea at all that what was going to happen in the summer happened and stuff like that. And we probably need to spend another shed load of money now fixing the imbalances and replacing the players that are gone. So that's going to require investment as well. And the question is whether FSG, after seeing how this season rolled out, will they have the appetite to bankroll another big summer? Let's see what happens, but it's really going to be needed. They ain't going to get away with telling us that Jeremy Frimpong is the starting right winger when Mo Salah leaves. That ain't going to work. And this lark of Cody Gakpo on the left and then shoving him in as a striker and all that, we know that Ekitike is going to be out probably till January. And the other challenge we have there as well as Alexander Isak at times can't stay fit either. So we find ourselves in a dilemma again where we're having to put wingers into forward positions as strikers, even though we have ballers on the bench at times. He doesn't seem to want to pick them. The boos for Rio when Rio was getting subbed off, the talk afterwards in the presser was that he had picked up a knock, so he had to come off. The kid coming off didn't look like he wanted to come off. It didn't look like it, so I don't know whether that was a contrived story because the reaction to it was so aggressive in the stands. But there's a lot for Liverpool at the moment to think about and contemplate, and this season has been a real eye-opener, if you like, a real reality check that not always going out spending millions and millions and millions leads to anything really, you know. So yeah, we need to think about what's going to happen on the managerial role, what's going to happen with the players, who do we need to bring in, how do we rebalance this team again. So many players talking about moving on, you know. Kanate still stalling on the deal, or Liverpool maybe stalling on the deal, who knows. Talk of Alexis McAllister potentially moving on as well. Could we even see our captain move on maybe if things get really, really toxic? Will he want to stick around for another year? We could find ourselves in a position this summer where we have to bring in a lot of players. Is Marmadashvili truly the number one? Is he at that level to be the number one? You know, who do they bring in then for the backup? Does Woodman, does he get boosted up into the number 2 position? Are we looking for a tour keeper? Do we pull a tour keeper from the academy? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there? A lot of money spent last year, very little return on that investment so far. But we'll see. It's going to be a tetchy end to the season, isn't it? And the problem that we're going to have is if that toxicity and tetchiness is there, you know, going to be real difficult in terms of giving Robbo and Salah the right send-off, isn't it? So let's see what happens. The talk is that they could be back in training this week, or could be back Ali and Salah this week. Let's see what the reaction is like. I mean, obviously, last week's interviews don't help the situation at all, do they? And they show a kind of a, dare I say, on both sides, a little bit of an unprofessionalism. I'll word it that way. But let's see what happens, Reds. Big game coming up this week against Aston Villa. Until next time, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Not necessarily about the match, but more about those significant factors like the greeting of the bus, the players to the stadium, which is always huge. The booing of the substitutions, the booing at half-time and full-time. Not good. Comes in on the players. They don't receive it really, really well. So let us know your thoughts on those type of things. Until next time, folks, it is the Upper Tier Podcast on YouTube. It is the Shankly Sessions for all your Liverpool content. The playlist is there. Enjoy it. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you like or dislike, if that's the case. And we'll talk to you again real soon. Cheers.